Okay, today we're going to learn how to solve one-step equations using addition and subtraction. Okay, what you need to know, your vocabulary. Equivalent equations are two equations are equivalent if they have the same solutions. That means they have the same answers. Okay, what you need to know is you need to know the addition property of equality. Adding the same number to each side of an equation produces an equivalent equation. If you add, and I can show you an example. So you have two numbers that are equal. A is equal to B. Then if you add C to A and you add C to B on both sides, they're still equal. That's what that property means. Same thing with the subtraction property of equality. Subtracting the same number to each side of an equation produces an equivalent equation. So if A equals B again, then if you subtract C from A and you subtract C from B, it is still equal. Whenever we're doing these equations, remember that addition and subtraction are inverse operations. They're opposite of each other. Okay. So the goal whenever we're solving equations is to get the variable by itself. For example, you're finding x, finding y, finding your variable. And I broke it down into little simple terms. You're going to look at what side the variable is on. What is in the way of it being by itself? How do you get rid of it? And you need to know that when you're getting rid of it, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. So, let's look. So, what is our variable and what's in the way? Well, if you look on this side, x is our variable and minus 5 is in the way. So, remember that addition and subtraction are inverse operations. So, if you're subtracting 5, if it's a minus 5, you'll have to add 5 to get rid of it. And if you add 5 to the left side, you have to add 5 to the right. So, to get rid of it, add 5 to both sides. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Opposites will cancel each other out. That's the whole reason we add in 5, to get rid of it. So we got rid of it. So x is left by itself on the left. Bring down your equals. And on the right side, a -1 plus 5 is 4. And that's your answer. Example number 2. We have fractions. Don't let them confuse you. You're still doing the same thing. Where is the variable? What's in the way? Our variable is z, and plus 3/2 is in the way. So how do we get rid of plus 3/2? We do the opposite. We do the inverse operation. To get rid of 3/2, you must subtract 3/2 to both sides. We're doing the opposite, and what you do to one side, you must do to the other. Looking on our left, opposites will cancel each other out, leaving z by itself, the goal. And z is going to be equal to, if you look over to the right, our fractions. We need to keep change. Add our numerators, 1 plus a -3 is -2 over our denominator 2, which when we simplify this fraction, we get -1. And that is our answer. Example number 3. Decimals. Don't let them confuse you. You're doing the same thing. Where is the variable and what is in the way? So to get rid of a -2.5, you must add 2.5 to both sides. -2.5 is in our way. Now, if you notice, there's no operation in front of -2.5. It doesn't say subtraction. It doesn't say addition. But don't let this get you confused. You have minus 2.5, and to get rid of it, you can add. -2.5 plus 2.5 will give you 0. That's the goal, to get rid of it. So add 2.5, add 2.5. Opposites will cancel each other out, leaving you with W equals. We add these together, 3.7 plus 2.5, we get 6.2. And that is our answer. Okay, what if you have to write an equation, just like we had earlier, and then solve for it, which in this case we're not going to solve. A company has a profit of $750 this week. that profit is $900 more than the profit last week. Write an equation that can be used to find P, if we wanted to find. So we have a profit of $750. That profit is going to be equal to $900 more than P. So, if you're looking, you know it's going to be equal to, and you know that more than is going to be addition. So you're probably going to be adding 900. So, let's look and see if this makes sense. $750, that profit of this week, is $950 more than the profit last week. $950 more than the profit is equal to $750. Looks good. That is your answer. Okay, so we know how to solve equations now, but what happens if we're not sure if our answer is right? Well, this is how we can check our answer. So looking back at our first example, we have x minus 5 is equal to a negative 1. We had the answer of 4. X is equal to 4. So to check if our answer is right, we're going to plug our answer into the problem. Meaning, everywhere in this problem here, we're going to plug in 4. So let's do that. Okay, now you're going to solve both sides. So we're going to keep change. 4 plus a negative 5 is going to give you a negative 1. And on the right side, where it's already solved, you have a negative 1. If both sides are going to be equal after you plug in your answer, that means your answer was correct. Woohoo! So, if we ended up getting two different things on each side, that means our answer was probably wrong and we need to go back and redo the problem. Okay? Try these on your own and check your answer. See what you could do.